just well, the phone beeped. It's 8 o'clock. It must be 8 o'clock because it told me I was in time to go live. Does everybody act surprised? Okay, that's Hey, good morning, Dustin. Welcome to this glorious day that I don't really didn't have anything for all these beeping for YouTube to tell me I'm live. Well, no shit, YouTube, I'm live. Uh, yeah,
I didn't
it's
get a beep.
well when everything's Apple, and I've got two iPhones out here, two MacBooks out here. They're all individually beeping. That they got the same message.
Mine do not do that, and I don't know why. And I'm trying to figure out why. But if I'm in the car and I have my CarPlay on, I get no notifications at all, unless it's an Apple product like messages.
Yeah, I actually got three iPhones out here that are charged up, so I got five beeps.
But if this goes off, the phone doesn't go off. If the iPad goes off, none of them go. Or if it's not, I don't get all three of them like you do, and I can't
Yeah,
figure. I've tried to figure it out.
I hadn't done anything
Somebody
special.
help me.
They're all logged into the same iCloud account. That's the only thing I've done.
Same here.
Other than I'm running the beta, you don't run. I'm running the new iOS 17 on this, and whatever the new it is on the MacBook.
Yeah, I don't think I can get the beta on my 12. So, and
So
even if I could,
hope everyone's had a wonderful week so far. It's been a weird week. Didn't have a really topic for today, so I made a short yesterday about weird things that happen. I'm like, we can talk about strange stuff on. We can talk about strange stuff that happens because there's so many coincidences out there, so many weird things that happen. Yard sale store. Just for that dude who said more information, less stories. This whole show is for you, buddy. No information, all stories. How about that? Uh,
no problem, Sue. Sue's sitting out today.
um, yeah, I hope everything goes well for your mom at the doctor. Says Mark, eBay is doing something weird, showing zero left in stock, but shows a listing after I sell something. I'm worried about sell. Uh, so they switched, I don't know, a while ago to used to could hide your inventory and do all this stuff, but now they forced it where if you have to end an item, physically end an item. Usually it used to end normally, but all mine show. So even when I poll like to do um, cross listing, it it shows all the zero ones. I'm like, damn it. So I've started, every couple of days ending all the zeros just to get them out of the way. But it shouldn't sell another one. If it's got zero, it should not. Because when you click on your own listing and see if you're able to buy it, that'd be the real. A lot of times it'll tell you zero in stock or whatever, even if it shows up. Yeah, Buck Mountain. That was just a warm up show you saw with Victoria. Those of you who don't watch Victoria at the hour before this show, she's Monday through Friday. She's a hoot, and today was no exception.
She was off the rails.
I only do Wednesdays, a couple hours on Wednesdays. I've been doing this show for 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
Marcia has it written down somewhere. No, actually, you were doing it before I was on, so.
Yeah, what's up? Joni can tell you to the minute what we're doing. Where I have no idea. I'm like, whatever. I'm just hanging out with Steve. It's cool.
It's a woman thing, man.
Yeah, today is Gage, my youngest boy's 32nd birthday, and I said, let's see, he was born in '91. He's 32, right? She said, yeah, he was born. He's 32 at 12:07 today.
Oh, geez.
Like,
My oldest son is born in '91.
So
I don't have memorized the exact second that
12.9 pounds, 13
yeah,
centimeters long. They know it all.
So James, we're not going to bitch about the 127 because none of us here went to the 127. So there you go. The Facebook page has been just off the chain ridiculous about how many people are bitching about prices and this and that. You gotta understand it is a mix of yard sales and resellers and vendors, and so you got to pick your poison. If you don't like the prices somewhere, keep going. It's 600 freaking miles long. Somebody dropped Victoria's link in there for midlife picker.
Okay, I'll do it.
Todd said he'd do it for you. Um,
Adventures
you know,
with
you see,
Victoria.
so you got people that do all this, and I've got a friend here who sells at the auction with us, and he had to leave early because his trailer was full. So is it what you're looking for? This 600 miles long is each section is completely different. You know, Ohio is completely different than this end. Seem to be more vendors on this end, more individual sales up there. Kentucky's kind of a mix. Um, you just you just you don't like one area, keep going. Um, Hey, Dustin, congratulations. Mine is still sitting right here. I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't listed it yet. Maybe that's something you inspire me to do it today. It happens, man. Just it's it's also what you're looking for. What do you expect? If you want the prices to get better, I can tell you one way to get the prices better: sell in more places. You know,
Yep.
if you have more avenues, my prices. Yeah, Victoria, I'm not going to do your version of Ozempic. And I'm not making any comments about miles or any of that kind of stuff. But I was actually, for the first time in a while, I'm sitting here thinking, what is too bad to type in the chat? It's just what is too bad to type in the chat. Yeah, so it's so the things that I buy at my auction, I will pay more for them things that I sell on eBay and Amazon, and then even a little more for things that I sell on Amazon, because each one of those has a different price point, because the sales numbers will be different. At the auction For the auction, I don't like to spend more than $10 max, because once you get to $10, you've got to have what, $14 to break even on bids, and so that's a little much. But for eBay, you pick up items knowing, because you got a sales history, you know about what that thing sells for. James, getting ungated on DVDs is fairly easy. Christianbooks.com or whatever that site is everybody uses. Order 10. Submit your invoice with the ASIN on it. Sometimes they don't take it. Make sure your name and address, everything's all the same. I like to use the same credit card that's on file or debit card, and so that way it's hard for them to mess it up. But just submit the invoice. It's fairly simple progress.
Yeah, Victoria was trying to pronounce Ozempic, and at one point she said, "I'm a prick."
I missed that.
I'm a prick.
Why would she say that to you?
James. So the hardest thing about getting ungated is doing the first one. Once you figure out the process and have got everything right, like you've done Legos, DVDs, it's the hardest part is finding somewhere that sells them. And the big secret out there that nobody really, they talk about it every now and then. If you go to a store and get a receipt, they're going to decline it every time. If you order it online, you could buy from Walmart, they'll turn you down a receipt. You can buy from Walmart.com, they'll take that. It's just strange.
Sometimes. A good portion of the time.
You did, though, Victoria.
So if you get an Amazon package your door with your address but not your name on it, what would you do?
Keep it.
Depends on what it is. I'd open it up like
So that actually happened to me, and I still have it. I got this big giant wall-mounted fireplace, those types of things, and it just mysteriously appeared. UPS, but it was an Amazon purchase, and it has this really super weird name on it that doesn't exist. So
yeah, I know a seller that got seller returns that weren't his, and he called Amazon and said, "Listen, y'all sent me enough to fill up a 5x8 trailer, and they said, "Oh well, just keep it."
Yep. So
They
some of the Chinese sellers do that because it's cheaper for them to do that than to whatever keep it in inventory. So they'll just pick a random address, and that might be what happened with me here. But unfortunately, I only ever got the one thing because that thing's worth about $120.
most of the time here it happens. Not that exact scenario, but the neighborhood Facebook groups always did somebody get this or whatever. And normally I look at a box and I have somebody else's name on it, and it'll be almost always 252. The guy down the street that I don't like, the guy with the perfect yard who's always in his bathrobe. That dude's living the life. Every time I take something down there, he answers the door, his bathrobe, his yard is like immaculate. There's not a weed, there's not a grass. I'm like, when do you find time to do this and just chill all the time, dude? You're living my life that I want. But anyway, but yeah, we get the wrong ones that drop here, but not the name and address.
So I'm sure you're familiar with those Chinese sellers who just make up these weird names.
Yeah.
Well, you could clearly tell that was what mine was. It was one of those weird names. It's two words that shouldn't go together, but do because they're Chinese and they don't know that they shouldn't go together. Yeah, that's what it was. So
okay, so let's talk about my short video yesterday. It was a minute long. So
didn't watch it.
We talk about I can't even get your support. What the hell?
I didn't even see it come up.
So it did better than most of them. I guess because the title is. I think the title was "I Need to Touch Everything" or something like that. I did a better title for short. But it's so I am packet order. So you guys know that I'm pushing, trying to make eBay #1 platform over Amazon because I'm just tired of Amazon and their shenanigans. eBay has problems too, but they're much more. You feel like you're in more control with eBay. So anyway, I sold one of those shiny blue Xbox 360 controllers, and I'm looking for it. Can't find it. And I'm over there, and I shipped the thing yesterday. I showed it on Tom's show. It was a Moeller fuel filter, not a pump. But I sold it for like $60, $65. But 5 years ago, I bought 6 of those, and I'm over there, and I pick it up to move it out of the way, and I look at it, I'm like, why is this one still here? I sold the other 5. I wonder if I have it listed. And then I always have this laid on the counter because if I'm in the building, I don't have this in my pocket or anything, just in case it texts it. I hear the cha-ching from eBay. Don't think anything of it. I keep looking, and then when I'm waking around there, I'm like, I wonder what I sold. I look at the phone. After 5 years of not selling, with it in my hands and me wondering why the damn thing hadn't sold, somebody bought it.
It happens, and I don't know why it happens.
So strange that. Okay, so you think that is strange? Well, fuck. Yesterday, I'm looking for the correct. So if you sell Garmin GPS units, you need to know that all the cables are not created equal.
Correct.
They are. Some of them have traffic antennas on them and other things, and so certain ones. And I had a guy said that I sent him the wrong one, and so I'm looking for the right cable, so I can send it out to him, no problem. And I've got this expensive GPS unit. It is a Drive Lux 50. If you've not seen those, they feel like a cell phone. They're all glass and metal. They're not the plastic. It's got a magnetic mount, voice control. It's a really nice unit. I think I've got it listed for $146 on Amazon. And so I'm like, I wonder what cable that thing has. And I pull it out of the box, look at it, and I just set it back over there on a thingamajig, on a box, not putting it back up. And in the next couple of minutes, I hear the FBA sound go off, and I'm not thinking the first thing of it because I list a lot of FBM items. I get over there, and I sold that damn Garmin unit after 4.5 months of it being on there. This happened back-to-back days. And so today I'm going to get Johnny out home filming as I hug all my inventory. I'm going to touch everything.
Well, I think that might defeat the purpose.
I might even, if I've got Johnny out here in the building, I might touch myself, see if that kind of wears off on her as well. It's going to be awesome. But that is so strange.
14 minutes in.
Back-to-back freaking days. Anybody else have that experience? Tell us in the chat.
I sell these glasses. They're shooting glasses, basically. They're the yellow. You know what I'm talking about. They're kind of a safety glass, but I don't sell very many of them, and they take forever to sell. And I sold a pair last week, and then, gosh darn it, the next day I sold another pair. But I can go a year without selling a pair of those, and I don't understand the dynamic there. Or I have these postcards, and I listed them over a year ago, and most of them just sit because they're not that desirable. But then I'll get a rash of 5 people buying postcards in a day or something.
So, Captain Nerd, thanks for coming over from Victoria's. Am I an Amazon seller? I'm like a. We need to come up with something that people that sell a lot of places, like, if you kind of smear your. I'm like a reselling hoe. I sell locally here at an auction once a week. It's a consignment auction. I sell on eBay. Been on eBay since 2000. I sell on Amazon. Been doing FBA since 2013. I just started Poshmark in the last few weeks. Started Mercari in the last few weeks. I sell on Facebook Marketplace. I don't have an Etsy account, so yeah.
I do.
You can't limit yourself. That's the one thing I would tell you. Josh is finding that out. So if you don't watch Josh Galt, Josh does a show. He did number 100 yesterday. He does the show at noon my time Central, over on his channel. Subscribe to him. Really, we talk about some of the crazy stuff that happens, and I'll answer a lot of questions. I love that my chat here is just awesome. I love answering questions and helping the newer stuff. It's even a higher level than what I talk about. He is very detailed in eBay theory, but as eBay has, when you're a big eBay seller and eBay has gone through the troubles they have over the last few months, it looks like they've straightened things out. eBay sales are coming back now, but if you limit yourself to one platform, you're at a lot of risk. And
okay, I hugged it. Now
did you hugged it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to report next week to see if that thing sold.
All right.
So same here. Mark says he's tired of Amazon returns, back to selling more on eBay. I did another short the day before. I had a lady return a freaking golf glove because she said it was an inaccurate web description. She ordered one and she wanted it for the left hand, even though the listing was for a right hand glove, and it even says wear on right hand glove. And she returned it because it was surely wrong. It was a left-handed glove. You fucking.
I did see that video.
You dumbass.
I did see that one.
I'm tired of that kind of stuff. I got some big girl panties back yesterday because didn't like the fabric. Another one said it was the wrong color. One pair was dark and they should have all been lighter colors, which I can't control the way Haynes puts them in the middle package. Yeah, Josh. I've enjoyed listening to
listing. It's not listed.
It's never going to sell.
I got 2 of them. I had like 8 of them. I sold a bunch, but
yeah, Josh, I've enjoyed listening to your chat. It really makes me think a lot. The one thing you need to do as a reseller is expose yourself to different views and different ideas, especially as I'm coming more back into eBay. I need to know eBay as well as I know Amazon right now. I'm not leaving Amazon. I'd like the Amazon to be 20-30% of the sales. I sell media, I sell DVDs, books, the easy stuff, the stuff that you just pick up and forget, send it in and forget. I want to continue to do that on Amazon. If I find some things that fit that, opportunistic selling. But the one thing I have preached the entire time I've been doing this show is do not legislate the fun out. What do you enjoy about this business? You got to figure out how to do that. I've preached that over and over. And
Amazon makes you tired.
I've had people tell me over and over, why do you keep messing with the yard sales and stuff? You sell so much on Amazon. I love that. I love the eBay stuff. I love hunting for yard sale stuff. I love flea markets. I love all the stuff that all the products mainly go to eBay. And I'm tired of fighting myself. If one platform I made more money on, but on the other platform I enjoy more and I like the stuff more, you've got to figure out how to make the other platform work to make your life. To me, that was the answer: is make the lesser platform because you can sell $500,000 on Amazon and 150,000 on eBay and make more money on eBay. I promise you, 100% promise you can. And
Absolutely.
everybody bangs their over on Amazon. It's a big swing and dick contest about who sold the most. You never know. They'll tell you, I sold this much, but my profit margin is like 13%. And I look at them and go, that's
a pretty decent profit margin.
I'm like, I sold a trailer harness yesterday for a Ford truck. I paid $5 for it. I got $183 for it. You can kiss my 10% or whatever the hell it is. So do what makes you happy. And once you figure out what makes you happy, figure out how to monetize and make that work. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing now. I enjoy making videos, but I don't have a ton of time, so I'm making more shorts. I can make a couple minutes video a couple times a day and do that kind of stuff. So I'm going to focus on that because it doesn't take much editing, and still do the live show because I like talking to you guys. So what comments are we talking about? This is Phil. I missed it.
I'll tell you, you'll understand how much you miss yard sales when you can't go yard sale. Right now, currently, I can't. And man, am I drooling to get back to doing that, which will be next summer.
I think he was talking about a dubious YouTuber named Chris.
Yeah, he was talking about. So this is my whole point. Is I don't understand. I get that Chris has got a good. He teaches accountability. He teaches listing a lot. I mean, he's got some good processes. But my whole issue with this is I really don't want to take advice or listen to someone who has been lifetime banned from a platform. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things to go, you know what? Because you want to be able to trust people you listen to, and if he will make the decision to put his account and his livelihood at jeopardy, do you think he gives a fuck about what he tells you? That's my problem.
Chris is good at marketing himself.
Yeah.
He's very good at that.
He's from a marketing background. I mean, so when he started this, he came out of marketing. So,
and I'm sure a lot of his advice, non-reselling advice, is really good, but because of the questionable practices, I had issues before that, but that's me.
I thought he had come out of the military and jumped right into reselling. Is that
no? That was another guy.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember that guy's name. Josh. That guy's name was Josh. I don't think Chris.
So Josh said there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but he won't get into. But the ban was well deserved. And
it doesn't matter what It doesn't matter. Just that he got banned. Why? How do you?
eBay doesn't do these things lightly, no matter what people want to tell you. Remember, whenever you hear someone tell you something terrible that's happened to them or something they've done, you're hearing one side. You're hearing the I'm a saint. Oh my God. Oh, poor pitiful is me. Now that's why I tell you. If I tell you something, man, go check it out. Call me on it if I'm wrong. Because the one thing I am, and I've been accused of this over and over, and I'm okay with it, is I'm very conservative in the things that I do. And if there's a rule, I don't want to live in a gray area. I like black and white. I like it's right or it's wrong. And so if you tell me this is the rule, I'll play within the rules. I could bring my other buddy John, not Big John, but another buddy named John on here, who broke all the rules on Amazon. He's put this on his YouTube channel. This is not a secret. And was drop shipping from Amazon Prime. And not only did they say you can never have a Prime account again, they also said no FBA, no nothing, no Amazon accounts, goodbye. And for the money he made in a short period of time, it was a good amount of money. But the lifetime amount of his account, he'll tell you, I lost tons in that deal. So follow the rules. The rules are there. eBay has a lot more problems than we want to deal with. Go look up Black Diamond VHS tapes and try to figure out how you as a platform are gonna combat money laundering. Did you ever think whenever eBay started that they'd have a problem with money laundering?
No, but it makes perfect sense.
Oh, it does. You're legitimizing money transfer through your system. But
I don't think a lot of Josh, from what I remember, just quit on his own. He got I believe a a full-time job.
Yeah, he
Got
did.
paid well. So I don't think there was nothing nefarious. I missed his videos. He was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
but definitely not talking about a lot of Josh. That's a sharp young man. Anything he's touched has been pretty good. I actually like watching him.
All the Joshes, because there was Suburban Beard, who was Josh, and then there was Harry Tornado,
Well,
who
he
was
still
Josh,
makes
and
tons
then a lot of Josh.
of.
They all make. I don't think a lot of Josh makes videos as much anymore, but the other two do.
But that's another good example. Lag. Lag had somebody. Can somebody please write this down? Lag had a productive comment. It wasn't about his mom making
What?
breakfast. Lag, Lag didn't act like he doesn't know me right now. We'll go over. Josh will have a show today, and Lag will act like he has never even talked to me. Has no clue who me and Todd are.
I don't believe you.
Lag
I don't believe that he made a good comment anywhere. I can't see it.
So this one is so good. We'll put it up here for everybody to see. So this is another great example. So the rumor guy, we talked about him last week. He still wants you to send books because he still has access to one account or something to sell books that you can't sell. Dude, I don't want to hear. If you're willing to break the rules and open multiple accounts to sell the same things, I didn't sell the exact same book. You said it yourself in your own video that you open the accounts to get around the restock limits. Don't think I'm going to take your advice, no matter how good a seller you think you are, when you're willing to tell your entire audience and put 17 accounts of people around you are all banned, and you put all that at risk. 17. So he has 17 accounts that were suspended or out.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm out, dude. If you're willing to put them at risk, what will you tell me is wrong?
And Lag says, if Lag is correct, and I don't normally trust anything Lag says, but this time, this happened a couple of years ago, so he knew. He can't say that he didn't know.
Yeah. See, Josh, now you see the real thing. You tuned in on a Wednesday and you see Lag here hanging out with us, carried on. So all the stuff that we've been telling you in the chat that he's been trolling you, Lag has been trolling you.
Lag is troll.
Lag is a good seller. He makes a lot of good comments, but you've got to take the good with the bad. You've got to understand that his mom's about to bring him breakfast in the basement.
Ching.
Or for your store, he's in New Jersey in his dad's attic. That's what he said in your show. Yeah. So there we go. But hypothetically here, you're selling a one-of-one Nike shoes and they're to a collector who reports them.
That'll definitely get you in trouble. For sure.
And when
I don't know that that's what happened, but
you come out and tell the world that, it was a misunderstanding, you didn't have receipts and all that kind of stuff. When you hear that stuff, you go, yeah, there's a line that's been crossed, and there's way more to it than that. Yeah, Lag is my pet troll. But so be careful who you listen to, folks. That's the one thing I'll tell you. It's so on Amazon, is it if somebody's been suspended, like I've been suspended twice on Amazon, does that mean you should never listen to me? Yes. Amazon suspended me by mistake once. It lasted 32 hours. But the other one, I had a customer accuse me of selling new as used, and so I had to write an appeal, and I came back. But and that was 2015.
Well, obviously, there's different levels of suspension. If you get a lifetime ban from Amazon because you drop ship like John did, not John, the other John, or you sell counterfeit shoes, or you sell shoes that were stolen, and you get a lifetime. That's a whole different story.
No, Buck, you can have multiple accounts on eBay. Just remember, if on eBay, if one account gets in trouble, they will link them and do other. On Amazon, you can have multiple accounts now. You used to couldn't, you can now, but the rule on Amazon is you cannot sell the same merchandise. And so if I have 3 stores and they all sell books, and Jennifer, I forgot to call you last night. I apologize. I'll call you after this show. If the whole thing Amazon wants to know is if you have multiple stores is, it would be like, if I wanted to make a store of just Maidenform and all my big girl stuff, I've got 6,000, 7,000 pairs of Maidenform around here. and only sell that there, that means on my main account, I should never sell Maidenform or have never sold it before.
Or women's underwear or undergarments at all.
Or anything related. I wouldn't sell clothing on that account.
Mm-mm.
Eliminate the whole category.
And there's no gray area. That's understood when you see that policy, as far as I know.
Drop the link so Lag can jump in. Okay.
Give us a
Lag-
song,
Lag-
Piano Man.
I don't think lag really exists. I think it's a figment of our imagination, to be honest with you.
Hey, we let the piano man in, so there you go.
Yeah. Good morning.
Are you awake yet?
I literally woke up at 5 minutes till 9. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You want a list?
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know you that well.
Yeah, but just this little bit of time that we've spent together, I've already got a list going.
Okay.
Holy crap.
That's all right. I'm sure you got a list on me too. So.
3 sales in 1 minute. Holy crap.
Okay, so this is weird. So that's 2 weirds. So the third one I'm gonna make a short
Wait a
about.
minute. Are you saying Steve and I are weird?
Okay, I'm saying they're weird. But so here's the third coincidence. This crazy stuff happens, man. And it's just, this is a reselling one. So last week at the auction, a couple weeks ago at the yard sales, I picked up this book. It was about quilting. Civil War Diary Quilt is the name of the book. So one thing I can tell you about the auction is Civil War stuff sales and quilting stuff sales. And so now I got a book that puts them both together. I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, Harlan, do you think I should run it? I always run things by Harlan. I'm like, you think it'll sell by itself? He goes, yeah, that's good enough to sell one rock by itself. The book sold for $40 last Thursday at auction. $40 for one book. Silver Diary War Quilt, or whatever the hell it's called. Diary Quilt. And I was excited. That's awesome. And so here we are Saturday at the yard sales. We finished the yard sales. Harlan goes home to live his fun life. And I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. And I started looking at my phone, and there's 4 estate sales ending in the next 2 or 3 hours. They're all 50% off all last day. I'm like, you know what? I need more eBay merchandise. Let's go see what I can find. So I'm gonna go to these. I'm gonna go to these estate sales. So I get to the last one, and how hard is it to believe that for 34 cents I found that same damn book again? Never seen that book before in my life. Ran it through the auction and got $40 for it, and at an estate sale 2 days later, find it again for 35 cents.
Is it the fact that you've never seen that book before in your life, or now that you recognize that book when you see it? I wonder.
I picked. It's probably a lot of that is I picked it up.
Like when I got my green Kia, then I started seeing green Kias everywhere when I hadn't really saw them.
So when I'm waiting for Harlan to get there Saturday morning, we started at 6. So I'm in the van ready to go at like 10 till, but that's okay. I'm playing on my phone. I'm like, I need a save search on eBay. So if you're going to source things, so here's another thought. If you've got an item on one platform that you can buy on one platform for sell another, that kind of arbitrage is, I've made a lot of money doing arbitrage like that. And so I'm like, I'd already thought Saturday morning, where can I get another one of these books? Let's buy this quilt book off Amazon, off eBay or Amazon, and run it through the auction again and see what happens. I can get the book here, and it'll be a month later, and the people will see the book again and go, hopefully, I got to have that book again. So I had gone through the trouble Saturday morning of setting up a search and all that stuff on eBay, and then little did I know that 6 hours later, I find it at an estate sale. It's kind of crazy. It
is crazy.
Yeah, Buck Mountain. Somebody drop Buck Mountain Barnes link here. That would be great. I'm on StreamYard, so it's hard for me to do anything.
And I'm just lazy. Actually, I don't have the link, so.
Lag, make yourself useful while you're just sitting there talking to your mom, eating your grits. You don't eat. You're in Philadelphia.
You said pancakes. You said pancakes this morning.
You're eating cream of wheat. You're not eating grits. You're a northerner.
Cream of wheat and grits both suck. Just let me say that.
If you put sugar in them, they're not bad.
No, they're bad. Yeah, I can't handle either one.
Buck Mountain, we usually do 2 hours once a week. So a lot of it too depends on the chat. If they're carrying on asking questions and doing fun stuff. Smiley. His mom made him smiley face pancakes. There you go. But you got to, man. It's just that kind of stuff is. You're not going to find that kind of stuff for the most part if you're sourcing retail arbitrage for Amazon. The fun stuff, the coincidences. It happened with Tracy. Are you in the chat? I think I saw you in there. So I don't know, about 2 months ago, Joni decided she wanted some kind of thing to go on the front of her, some grinder or something that goes on a KitchenAid thing. And I'm like, man, don't buy that stupid thing. Let me look for it at the yard sales. The next day, first yard sale, there it sits. It's just stuff like that. You kind of talk things. Joni has said that 2 or 3 times this year alone.
Okay. I've got a new least favorite thing to eat besides cream of wheat and grits. Lag mentioned it. Scrapple. That stuff is nasty. I don't know how y'all eat that stuff.
Harlan said you need to be banned for your stance on grits.
Well, I like Scrapple even less. So it's horrible stuff. I spent a little bit of time in Philadelphia area for an insurance class that I was taking, and everybody's talking about Scrapple. I said, okay, I'll try that.
To me, grits just taste like nothing. You got to mix stuff in there like
it tastes
butter
like
and
sand.
salt.
Yeah, it's nasty.
It tastes like sand. What have you eaten sand?
So Anissa.
It was force-fed sand as a kid.
For the new folks, Anissa Junk Trader is Anissa. We will forever refer to her as Anissa. He says you manifest it. There's a lot to that. If you do a lot of the studies and that kind of stuff, there are a lot of people who teach that kind of thought and that kind of, and there's some truth to it. The more you look for something, the more you find it. I mean, everybody's had not a new car, but maybe a car that's new to you. You never see it. Once you start driving it, you see it everywhere. So, I never paid attention to a Volvo. Joni, and back in 2005 or 6, we bought an S60, Volvo S60 sedan. She drove for 3 or 4 years. Never even paid attention that there were any Volvos around until you're driving a Volvo. Then they're on every damn block. And so there's a lot of that, we've seen a lot of yard sales of quilt stuff. So I've never paid attention to the books. I ended up buying 14 or 15 quilting books to run through the auction because, I'm like, you never know.
My wife has done well on stuff like that on eBay, even if you get the right stuff. Some of the older quilting, they're not magazines, but they're that thick, but they have patterns and stuff in them. And she's done well with that kind of stuff. It's not huge money per book, but they sell. So you might make $10 a book or something, and they're cheap. Same with those simplicity patterns. She don't buy them anymore, but she sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those things. So
for everybody that's new, a lot of the stuff we will talk about things, and we leave it for you to figure out how this thing. We're not gonna, you're an adult. So we talk a lot of stories, but we also talk a lot of business that people don't seem. It kind of goes over their head. Steve just told you something extraordinarily important. And if you've got to understand a little bit of business and this kind of stuff. Steve just told you that it sells fast and sells a lot. And so there's 2 ways to increase your sales. You can sell more items or you can sell higher priced items. There's your only ways to increase sales. To increase the top line, you've either got to sell more of an item or you've got to sell more expensive items. Those are your 2 choices. And in my opinion, you need both. You need items that will sell higher. You need items that will sell frequently. If you have a bunch of items that are, John calls it a base, that you can sell a lot of, and when you see them, you just pick them up, list them very easily, and you're done with it, and it sells. It might not be a ton of profit, but once you sell a bunch of them for little to no work to you, it does fine. But I also believe that the more expensive items, Josh talked about yesterday. We talked about he listed $1,000 worth of stuff in 8 or 10 items yesterday. You want to build a store and staggering sales and that kind of stuff. you need those type of items unless you're prepared to hire a teenager and sell. I got enough underwear back here to sell.
So on the lower end stuff like she was buying, she has strict rules how much she'll pay, all that stuff. It has to be. She went for those simplicity patterns. She won't pay more than a quarter, and if she pays a quarter, that's a lot. So she's getting them. She's usually buying them in bulk. Because if you go to a yard sale,
how much is the box? How much is you want to know?
How much is the box? And so she gets them usually for under 10 cents a piece, 5 cents maybe.
Yep.
And so when you're buying them that way, even if you're selling them for $8 to $10, which is about average for those, you're making some pretty good bank at the end of the day when you have 200 or 300 of them. And the quilting stuff, books like that, we got all for free. She had thousands of those. She sold almost all. They're gone now. I don't see them up there anymore. So she must have sold them all. The ones that didn't have any value got donated, of course. But the patterns have to be uncut. She loves repetitive stuff. So for her, that gig is good. Me, not so much. So you got to know yourself too when you're outsourcing. Scott's not going to sit down and list 200 patterns. I'm not going to sit down and list.
But I'll get Jacob to do it. So here's
right there you go.
I buy any remote under $1 that's got a name brand on it. I generally buy it, just whatever. So Jacob, there's a bucket. There's a drink flat over there full of remotes that Jacob's going to start listing today. He's going to do 25 a day of them, because they're going to make average remote sales $12, $13 somewhere in there shipped. A quarter to make $7, $8 on those remotes because they're super cheap to ship, super cheap to work. I mean, all you do is this. I did a short a little while ago of how to test these remotes. You've got a cell phone. Is there anybody out there without a cell phone? Your cell phone camera, mash the button, you'll see the light. It's not.
Come on, you really don't have. You have a cell phone, don't you, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say.
Even flip phones count, Tom.
I can't even find it half the time, but I've got one.
But okay. So here's another great. You got to be paying attention to this chat to get the most out of it. Steve is full of knowledge this morning. What did he just tell you that Marsha did? Marsha has a set of rules about what she's buying.
Strict
Josh
rules.
told you his rule. I don't everything that I source at retail is under 20 unless I have quantity. You've got to come up with a set of rules that at yard sales, if it doesn't sell for at least $20, I don't put it on eBay. I will buy it and sell to the auction. I don't put it on eBay.
I will put it on eBay under $20.
Remotes are different. I got Jacob in there to list remotes. I pick up remotes. That's an exception to my rule of the $20 because he'll list them so fast. Tom uses Morse code. Yeah.
There's a lot of value to things that are under $20. I mean, depending, like you say, you make the money when you buy it, not when you sell it.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a $20 item for $1, there's no way you can't make money. If it's a good selling item.
The one thing I'll tell you though, like Jay Ride will tell you the same thing. He says remotes are his second highest category. Once you start messing with remotes, I sold a remote 2 weeks ago that was like $93. It was to a stereo system. I bought the stereo system for $10 or $15, and it turned out not to work. But I knew the remote was rare, and I knew what it was worth. So I bought the whole system knowing if I throw everything away, the remote's worth money because the remote worked. It had a screen on it. It worked. They still make rotary phones? Probably not. Oh, Tom needs a rotary. So that's what. Tom, so. Can you see Tom with a big old phone? He just dials on it.
If you get that Celta jack, you can make your rotary phone ring to yourself, or your cell phone ring to your rotary.
Y'all were sad.
Figure out rules that you want to buy and how you want to handle it and that kind of stuff. Understand how to increase sell more expensive items or sell more of an item and sell it in more places. All right. So now what are we with?
I couldn't pull the whole phone out. It's connected. There we go. That's my rotary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Tomato powder. What the heck would you do with tomato powder? Ooh. No, Craig. The Harmony Rose don't sell at all. I'll give you $5 a piece for them. Free, and I might even come down to Birmingham to pick them up.
I'll give you $5.50, but you'll have to ship them.
Do I hear
I ain't coming to
6?
Birmingham.
Do I hear 6?
So midlife picker.
Not all those harmonies are worth a lot of money.
Establishing the rules is the first step. Sticking to them is much harder. But the one thing I would tell you is once you've done it a couple times and realize how positively impacts what you're wanting to do in your business, that third, fourth, fifth time that the rule, it's much, much easier.
Here's the difference between having a set of rules like my wife does and not having a set of rules like I do. Her room is almost empty of stuff that she bought to sell. Mine is completely overrun, and I have things.
I don't understand. I can't picture that. What are you talking about, overrun?
Yeah, but when you don't have a set of rules as to what you're going to buy, and a strict set like she does, and she sticks to them for the most part,
Okay, so here's this. I forgot about this coincidence, but so Harlan and I, if y'all remember, a couple weeks ago, I was giving Tracy a hard time for not picking up the little Tykes truck, the little diesel with the race car on it. Look what I found again after never seeing one. I found the whole set again. There was some little kid looking at it. Mom, I want the truck because it's got the truck and everything with it. And I'm sitting there thinking, we can see it from the car. I'm like, little kid, you don't need that damn car. You don't need that truck. And the mama goes, I heard the mama say, "You're not getting that, so you need to be quiet." So
Scott's running.
I'm like, hey, so you're not going to buy this? Because if you're not going to buy it, I'm going to buy it. She goes, no, he's not getting that.
Tell her if she changes her mind, she can find one on eBay.
Yeah,
and then
I think they're on.
I
listed it for $99. I think they're on sale for $79. So, yep.
Really? Jeez. I so miss going to yard sales because I can't. You show things like that. Those are out there. That kind of stuff is out there.
No, I didn't, Carol. I didn't rip it out of the kid's hand. I actually waited till they walked it.
Sure.
Till they walked by and he was looking at something else. I'm like, because
this is the real reason Scott doesn't film.
Like, I don't want to make him cry or anything, but I'm gonna pick that up if you're not. And she says, no, go ahead. I was actually nice about it because I didn't want to hear something. Although a few weeks ago when Kristen was here, the kids were crying that we were buying their toys.
Hey, those kids eventually need to learn what life is really about.
Life will kick you in the ass. You need to learn that now.
That's right. Doing them a service.
It's terrible.
This is why Scott doesn't film yard sales anymore, because he's ripping toys out of kids' hands and he doesn't want y'all to see it.
He gets the shakes when he sees a pair of ladies' underwear that's not been opened up yet.
I'm gonna send you some of these, Tom, just so you can help you hold all your girly parts in.
Scott, that underwear is what is Dusty's. What was that? A dental chair, barber chair?
Oh yeah,
you're gonna have that.
No,
you're gonna have those things when you
so
check out.
The one piece of inventory he had forever is he made this bulk buy on placemat settings and stuff. And
I remember.
He had those. He did where he did really well with them, sold them all, and then he bought some more and ended up kind of losing interest. And so he had boxes of those stupid things in that storage building.
But it was still a good buy. He did really well with those.
What did they do with all their stuff? His inventory.
I don't know.
I would have thought they'd have reached out to you to come look at it and give them a price.
I think they were kind of tired of all the attention. So
the shirt, I can't have my name on my shirt. Do y'all not have a shirt with your name on it? With the pansies on the front of it? So my dad's youngest brother, my my uncle who lives in Milan, Michigan. He owns a farm stand, and he no chemical, all that kind of free clean growing of vegetables.
Organic.
They have a sunflower field that they do a sunflower festival once a year, and you can wedding pictures, all kinds of stuff they do. So last time I was up there, I stole one of the shirts. I think it might have just had it.
I started to say, do y'all go up there every year? But I just remembered Joni doesn't travel by vehicle very well.
She don't go nowhere. I'm looking at the Zilke vegetable farm. They're on Facebook. That's the only way I can figure out when they're doing the sunflowers. They must be going on right now because there's some kind of painting sunflowers, some workshop today. Yeah, the sunflowers must be in. They do it every year. A lot of kids' days and all kinds of stuff. They work with Michigan State and University of Michigan there about sustained crop growing and the land and all that kind of fun stuff. They also have a business that makes it's like what's a take and bake pizza? It's like take and bake meals.
Good morning, Glenn.
So that's the shirt. I've got 2 or 3 of these shirts. The problem is this shirt, I could never wear it. This is the first time I've ever worn it because I've been too fat.
Here he
I
goes
have a
with
shirt
the
with my last
now.
name on it. I have a shirt with my last name on it, and I'm too fat. Someday I'll get back into that shirt.
But since I've lost, I was 193 yesterday, so however many pounds that is, 35.
I got 100 pounds on you.
47 46, 47 pounds down. You can fit in a lot of clothes you never wore before.
I got almost 100 pounds on you, man. That's crazy.
They say cameras put 50 pounds on you. I think it doubles up on Scott. Unless he's short.
Scott's
I'm like 5'7", 5'8".
Are you really? I thought you were a tall guy.
I used to be 5'8". Joni swears I'm shrinking with age already. So
Well, that happens.
Well, she's got freaking titanium rods in her back. She ain't never shrinking, so it's kind of irritating.
For the record, I'm 6'2", 6'1.5", really.
Dang.
Appreciate that.
280 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, I'm gonna grind up tomato powder. So does
There are
anybody got
NFL players smaller than me.
any questions? Yeah, and to the beer too. When the beer gets longer, you can't see the neck has lost a lot of weight in my face. It makes it harder to see.
I just got a memory on my Facebook, Scott. 2 years ago, I think it was. Maybe it was 3 years ago now. We were eating Skyline chili.
At the 127, yeah.
127, yeah. Might have been 4 years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was a while ago.
Lag said he's 6'6". That probably
Possibility. We'll never know.
That probably means Lag. You're coming on. Are you coming to Huntsville on the 19th? Because there is midget wrestling, the dwarfs versus the minis. Harlan's going to be in a damn Braves game, or we would go see the dwarfs versus the minis. So anybody in the Huntsville area wants to go see midget wrestling, send me a message.
It'd probably come down if I had the money. Yeah.
Dusty had a video where he and Tristan were somewhere out in the boondocks, and at a clearance store, and right next door to it, you could see there was a sign that says midget wrestling Wednesday nights, and he called hell about that for the longest time. About, man, you need to get Scott, y'all need to go.
If it was a store in the middle of nowhere, he did a good job of hiding those. He did. I knew of his big source. I still see his big.
Well,
source.
it wasn't out to me. It was out in the middle of nowhere, but it was on like a 4-lane road.
He didn't like this. He didn't like to tell anybody where he bought stuff.
Probably smart.
Where me, I don't care. I'll tell you, I don't care.
Well, you know what, vintage, that's just what they get for living in Canada.
Well, a lot of it too is international shipping. Is it's the way these countries deal with taxes.
Well, that's what I was getting
They're
at.
having to upfront pay taxes because right now, with the weakness of the dollar, you know, prices are very similar. Look at the euro and the dollar. Aren't they about even or pretty close? Last time I looked, they were pretty close to even.
When
I have
Texas
never had a complaint from anybody on an international sale as far as import fees, but I've always used eBay's programs like global shipping or whatever they call it nowadays.
So $1
I've
equals
never had a complaint.
0.91 euros right now.
Scott, who did your logo?
Which logo would that be?
The one that's in the corner of the damn screen up there.
Scott did that.
paid this ass. I did pay this asshole a lot of money to do that.
Okay. You did it. You're just a talented.
I like it. It's got a Volkswagen in it. I approve.
That's what I liked about it. I put the Volkswagen in on purpose.
I approve.
But the 127, it's a lot of that's what you make of it. If you want to get better deals, you got to be willing to. A lot of people complain there weren't any prices on anything. That's how many yard sales actually have prices anymore. I mean, there's some. Every now and then you're running that detail person that prices everything, but at yard sales we're used to asking, how much for the most part. What do you want for this?
Here we still get a lot of prices on them, but there are those occasional yard sales that don't.
Well, the people that are clearing out a house or whatnot, and they're going through everything, that's the ones that's sticking prices because they've got the item in their hand right then.
It takes a lot of work to price all that crap. I'm telling you.
It does. And even at
so I usually just I set up tables, $1 for this table, $5 for that kind of thing. It's just so much easier just to put a price on the whole thing. And then the bigger items that $20 or whatever, I'll price individually. But.
So Tom, that is a perfect example. How do you get lower prices at the 127? You guys, how many seasons of American pickups has there been? You got. They've taught the world you got to bundle. If they got 2 or 3 items you want, what if I get this? What will you do for me? You're helping them move merchandise and also make money, and then you're getting a better deal. You can't be scared. I'm the world's worst about asking. If I find something that's a great deal, so I bought a GPS unit this weekend at the yard sales. The guy wanted $50 for it. I'm like, how about 30? We sell it at 40, so I gave $40 for a GPS unit. I mean, the last one sold for $350, so I would have been all right at 50, but I'm better at 40. I didn't offer 10. You know what I mean? Just try to get something that's a little more like it. Most people go, "Oh my God, it's an old Garmin unit. What'd you pay $40 for it?"
I got a box full of Garmins right now. My like my wife did with the patterns. If you can buy in bulk like that, $1 a pattern, right? But if you buy the whole box, they charge you $10 for 100.
But the thing about patterns, Steve, is that I sold a couple of patterns to this lady, and she asked me if I had any more, and I said I've got some, but they've been opened up and they look like they've been cut out.
Yeah,
but I don't know whether everything's in there or not. She said, "Well, how many you got and how much you want for them?" She says, because she said she bought a lot of yards, a lot of patterns at yard sale. She said people that sew would put, after they made whatever garment they were making, they would put everything back together and they would fold it up and put it back in the pattern envelope. And it would never be touched again for another 20 years, that type of thing.
No, it does, but you can't trust that because Marcia's had a lot of issues with. So what she does now is she'll go through the entire box, and if a good 90 or 80% of them look like they're uncut, she'll buy the entire box. If they look like more than that is cut, she doesn't buy them at all because it's a pain in the ass to go through them and know which ones are cut and not.
Yeah.
And I buy hats, and there'll be $1 a hat. Every yard sale you go to, $1 a hat. But if you buy 50 hats in a box, they charge you $10 for the doggone box.
See,
So
so how
buying
about
in bulk like that.
forevermore? We just call the pattern circumcised and uncircumcised. What do you think?
Oh shit.
Wait, what?
We just refer to the patterns as circumcised patterns and uncircumcised.
Okay. All right.
But for somebody who wants to buy that uncut or uncircumcised, it means a whole lot to them.
See,
They'll pay.
it's going to catch on.
And certain patterns, like Halloween costumes from 30 years ago, or wedding dresses from 40 years ago, those things do well.
I tell you what, anybody that pays more than $50 for a wedding dress are crazy, because you can go down. I know of 3 local thrift stores that probably has 500 wedding dresses in each one of them.
You know what my wife's wedding dress was?
What?
A green T-shirt and blue jean shorts.
Okay, so
mine was pretty much the same.
The chat, so Steve has stopped giving you knowledge because he's talking about patterns, and the chat is now. So for those of you who are new to the channel and you're looking at the chat, and this is telling us this doesn't seem like a manly show whatsoever, or doesn't. And
guys craft
first thing I'm going to tell you is, if you want to be a successful reseller, you can't say, well, I'm not going to sell this. If you eliminate swaths of whatever you're going to do, yeah, you're eliminating opportunity, and you can't control what's in your area or what you come across. Well, you can to a certain extent what you come across by going more places. But when you get there, and if there's an opportunity there, and you go, well, I don't sell that. I'm walking on, and then bitch 5 minutes later, but you can't find something.
I gotta tell the entire.
Ass pads. I mean, how much fun have they made for selling the bearded ass pad, the bearded ass pad, the bearded ass pad? Are you gonna show up this morning on for us there, buddy? So somebody has decided it's so funny. They made a screen name and put my face on an ass pad, and they come in here every now and then.
So years ago I had a YouTube channel, because manly means nothing, to anybody. So my YouTube channel was Guys Craft 2, and it was me doing crafting things, and it was fairly successful. I quit because I got bored, but just like everything else.
Okay, either way.
But I still have the email address for it.
It's still either way. It just segments to an important thing is you got to be able to buy anything. Tom's making fun of. He's just jealous. I got all these big 3X, and I'm trying to find women with it using a churro.
I would have already sent Jacob's narrow ass down to the local flea market with a damn van load of those damn things, and made him sit there and hustle damn panties all day long. He'd earn his keep.
Yeah, it was Tracy. It was Tracy. I picked up that the car wherever what had to do with that car, the orange car, wherever it went, the diesel.
Yeah, Noel, didn't you do like a whole show about patterns? I think I watched.
There's money in them. If you do it right, there's money in everything.
If it meets your rules, and you come up with a plan on how to deal with it, it's the same thing as Big John had an idea he talked about 3 weeks ago about what's a golden opportunity right now. And I even got a message from somebody on. I got a message from Beard Aspect. What's up, dude? The poop bot has been activated. There you go. It's parting out items right now. You're going to figure out why grandma washed aluminum foil, and people are not going to be able to buy. Go look at the price of. So we were talking about last night, just a simple box fan, the cheapest box fan at Walmart is like $25 now.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, people are going to be buying parts, and so a great opportunity if you can figure out a business plan and a way to organize parts, and then go about where can I get parts, what items. Yesterday at the thrift store Tracy and I stopped at, they had 12 of the same coffee pot. If you were a person that sold parts, you could get 12 of those pots and all 12 of the same sets of parts at one place.
It's a ready-made business right there.
All the same brand, all the same model, all the same color. So parts.
People break shit.
and stuff is expensive. I mean, it is getting crazy expensive out there, folks. If you haven't paid attention in the store, the inflation and the supply chain issues, no matter where they came from, at the end of the day, you can sit here and blame the organized criminal and the White House, or deal with the fact that, we put ourselves in this situation by allowing this shit. Now we got to deal with it. How are you going to deal with it?
Dang, what was that? Part of my death pile just fell over and scared the dog.
And if you're a person that sells parts and there's things that are missing items, you want a good way to get something cheap at a yard sale. Well, hey, this is missing this. Could I give you $1 for it? Once you learn what goes on items and you start seeing opportunity because this item is missing, this Keurig is missing the drip tray, I can't tell you how many times I have gotten a VHS player for cheaper because, like, do you have the remote? Well, without the remote, can I give you $3 instead of $5? Or whatever.
She just picked up a free Keurig at the end of somebody's driveway. It was a little dirty, but it works fine. No, we gave it to her niece, but the parts there's certain parts on that thing, like you said, it was the nicer Keurig. There was some money in that if you wanted to part it out.
Scott, what was that you picked up at the end of the driveway?
So Josh said, I heard about when he was talking about the sewing machines. Just they picked up 90 of them. Going to part them out. 90 sewing machines for $100. How many dollars do you think he's going to make on that?
It used to be you could sell the whole machine back during the pandemic, but once that ended, then parting out became the big deal with sewing
Go look
machines.
up how much foot pedals are and all the little parts that go on the sewing. Go pick any model sewing machine and see how many parts of that sewing machine sell. But are you disciplined enough to break them down, sort the parts, store them, list them? It's a good idea to go almost sell the parts, but unless you've got a plan on how to do this.
I have a sewing machine downstairs that needs to be parted out. I bought it for that particular reason. It was only $5, but it was it's a fairly popular machine. So I know that the parts on it are good, but if you can get down in far enough, you can sell every bit of that thing. The cord, the motor, the foot, all of it.
And that's the other part is how detailed on parts do you want to get. If you want to really make some serious money, take it down to the cords, the boards, everything. All that stuff has value. It's just most people are not willing to. First of all, in my mind, I've thought about it, Mike. That's a great idea, but I can't do it because, oh my God, I'm not organized enough, or I'm that person who has. I could put my van back together with like 10 less parts and go, what the hell did these go to?
You can even sell the screws, the rubber feet. Marcia sells a lot of rubber feet off the bottom of Keurigs and sewing machines and all sorts of different. She when we were at the bench, she'd pick the rubber feet off the bottom because they sell of things. The whole machine might not have value, but people lose those feet and they don't want an uneven thing, so they'll be.
That's why remotes sell so well, because remotes disappear. Dogs eat remotes. We sit on and break remotes, whatever.
Boy, my wife is a genius. I just figured that out. I didn't say anything I bought because it was all garbage, apparently.
So you could, even a sewing kit like that, you could part that whole kit out.
Yeah, I gotta
that
get
one
this
I've
stuff
seen
listed
a few times.
Yeah, like I heard
screws.
It so well, smelly socks and that kind of stuff. I knew you. I knew what you read.
Banned it off of eBay.
Okay, on my list of things about lag, somebody foot fetish. Somebody write down he's got a foot fetish. Sold the screws to a dollhouse once. Yep.
Screws sell, like MacBook screws, the ones that hold the back of the case on. People lose them when they try to do something in there. Those sell. Everything sells.
How about the little oil can?
Oh, absolutely. There's all kinds of people that collect those. It's the opportunity, for people that tell me, you hear them all the time, I must live in a bad area. There's nothing here. And what I hear is someone who's not smart enough to figure out what's in their area and adapt to sell what they have available. That's what I hear when somebody says.
It's the adaptation part.
Yes, you've got to understand that the opportunity is here. What is the freaking opportunity?
I don't have the electronics you have. I wish I did. So I have.
I live in
I don't have the
Huntsville,
ability
Alabama.
to. I don't have the ability to turn down $20 items or less. You know,
This is a high tech area. There's lots of high tech stuff here. So
not here.
get a lot of electronics.
But I might get a lot of ephemera or, hats or postcards and things like that, or small.
But there's also a lot of resellers here, and they know
electronics.
postcards and they know hats. They kind of leave the electronics alone. And so, except
know
for
your
Tracy,
area.
I keep telling Tracy what I buy, and he buys my shit. I got even with
Right.
Tracy yesterday. Though Tracy likes to sell
Still find
Bibles,
it.
and I got a Bible yesterday, so I feel vindicated.
There's something every market has is Bibles.
I am looking on eBay right now at sewing machine parts, and there's somebody called One Cheesehead. He's got he takes one, this is a FAF 360 sewing machine, and he's broken that thing down into one listing, and he's got 10.
You can get any part, put a picture up there, and they can order any part from my drop down menu. Absolutely.
I don't care for those kind of listings, but
I would screw that up so bad if I had to do that.
Yeah.
The one thing I would tell you is, if you were a smart reseller, you'd have them both. You would have that listing and go ahead and throw them out there individually.
Because
if you had
he's
multiple
got
sellers.
a bunch of listings. He has got a lot of listings.
Correct.
He's found a niche. John Chartier always says, find your niche. Now, you can expand on that, and that's what we do. We're general sellers, most of us, but if you could find a niche like that, just sewing machine parts, man, you can get sewing machines at yard sales for $5.
One day I'm gonna sell
Most of the
cameras.
time. Not always.
I'm actually
But
gonna sell
you kind of have little niches here and there. You do well with your Garmins and your VCRs. You know a lot about that. I don't really have a niche, but I do part things out, and I do well on that.
So Josh said
It's
he
not
does
big money per part.
a separate listing for each part. Yeah, Craig.
That's how I do it.
I'm sorry, forever. You're not Craig anymore. You're Crane. Crane. Yeah, cameras don't sell. So
I'm
you
just
want to throw them in a box? I'll give you a couple dollars a camera.
when I'm making a
Josh,
multi-listing
are all
like that,
Josh, are all your sewing machines the same model? You can make one listing and have 90 of the same parts.
You could.
What was her name? Deb? Picking
Yeah.
pesos?
Yeah, she was good at parts.
That's what she did. That was her bread and butter in the beginning.
Yeah. I always mention Sarah, socially awkward seller. She doesn't do a lot of videos now, but she was really good at parting stuff out. I learned a lot from her. A lot. And Deb too. They were both really good at it. I don't know what Deb's doing nowadays. I know after COVID, she really hasn't put much out, but
She got COVID bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
COVID.
know.
She almost
She
died from
almost
COVID.
died.
It's like there's an echo in here.
but she was one of the better parter outers, and Sarah too, both of them.
And Beth
Yeah,
does a lot.
She's one of the few I've met in person. She's a lot of fun. I like Deb a lot. I might have
Reseller rowboat.
I might have met Deb in Chicago. We might have got high together.
Yeah, they say Deb is doing well still. That's good to hear.
Scott, you're going to that thing up north, aren't you? That show up north?
The resale rally in September, last weekend of September. Yeah.
You speaking?
Nobody ever asked Scott to speak.
No.
Well, he'd be one of the first people I'd want to, because he's a real reseller.
Yeah, but that's not what people want to hear.
Because people don't want to hear the truth. I will tell you the truth in a heartbeat, and they don't want. I'm that person that don't ask me a question if you don't want to know the answer. 'Cause I'll tell you the answer.
Is that reseller rally? Is that John?
Yes,
Cincinnati
John.
Clippers?
And,
Okay.
Lonnie.
Lonnie.
They also, there's a lot of young people in this game, and the one thing I can tell you about most young people, they're the most emotionally weak humans on the planet, and so you tell them that the planet is not dying. It's not coming to an end. Global warming is a farce. The election of 2020 was stolen. On and on and on. And they go, oh my God, they can't take it. They're looking for their crime space while they're listing, and I'm never gonna list to him again because he's one of them Trumpers. So there you go. So that
I can tell you though, some of that attitude is changing with some of the younger people.
it's definitely changing very quickly because they are getting a.
In fact, I won't talk about politics, but I have a friend.
Why not? Why not?
Because this is a reselling show, but I have a friend who didn't like Trump at all, but now that everything is out, a couple years past, he's looking back and he's listening to the things. He's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, well, when you're in the thick of it and you pick a side, you're going to only listen to that side. And that's the problem.
Well, that's the biggest problem is you only hear one side because the other side has gotten control of the media and is forcing the other side to be never. I'm going to tell you this. We'll go
say
on.
they have one.
I'll tell you this, and we'll move on from politics. The never in history has the side that tries to shut the other side up been the good guys. You can take that to the bank. Never in history has the side who wanted to silence and ban and all that stuff. Never have they been the good guys. There you go.
Rant
Scott,
over.
you can't diss your girlfriend Hillary like that now.
Trying to be
I might
calm.
have picked Hillary over Biden though. Although I don't know, I'm glad she didn't.
We'd be farther down the road to hell if Hillary would have got elected.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be much because Biden is a figurehead. Well, they're all figureheads, but Biden is
A figurehead.
He's just going to do whatever they want because he's too damned old to care.
But your reselling is so wide open that when people tell me that they can't do that, they can't figure out reselling, or I don't know if a lot of it's there's so many choices and people want to try to do it all because it's the flavor of the month, where there's, I want to start partying out, but and sell clothing and do this and do that. It is very difficult to do a ton of things. You've got to come up with a plan. Being a general seller is fine. Where are you going to get your merchandise? If you're going to go buy storage units, you're going to have to be a general seller. But if you want to part things out, I wouldn't try to. If I'm going to part out sewing machines, I don't know if I want to part out a ton of other stuff. I would be concentrating on where to find sewing machines. I'd be that guy. I'd be the one to,
Let's see here right now. Let's go ahead and correct that.
Yep, kind of like Crazy Picker Live became camera
guy. And those, if you need an answer for a camera or had a question, man, they were the people. And his kid was stupid smart with cameras.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to be intelligent too, like they were.
You can fake it. I'm telling you right now. You can teach it. There's no barrier to entry for reselling. You can fake it till you make it. And if you want something bad enough, you can learn it.
I fake it real well.
I wasn't going to use you as an example, but yeah, see here.
But I'm a fake. So I just went downstairs and touched the most expensive thing I have listed. We'll see how that works. It's been listed for a couple of years. It's a receiver, stereo receiver. What? There we go.
Well, sewing machines must be making a comeback because used to be you go to Craigslist and there would be 100 on there for free.
There ain't none on there. Yeah.
They're all like the cheapest one I see is $75.
I tell you, the pandemic changed all that. The sewing machines.
I think people are still using pandemic pricing, but they're not selling for $75 anymore.
No.
It's like used cars. It's coming back down to reality, but nobody's paying.
It's temporary. There might be so cars you got to watch. Cars are a different animal because So what happens in it's 45 or 90 days, whatever the next big strike that's looming is the UAW. They are demanding a 43% pay increase to make cars.
Reseller voodoo.
There is a heavy
Jeez.
chance that the UAW is going to strike against the big three American automotive.
Well, they won't be in any worse position than they already are because they're not selling cars. So they just won't have to. They won't.
You want a great business model parting out? My buddy Chris in upstate of Toledo and Dave, the two that I know personally that do this. There's tons of people that do this. Parting out vehicles. Going, if you want to buy all the taillights and sell just taillights, go to your local pickable and spend a day pulling taillights. Write on there what they are and go list them. You'd be amazed the amount of money. I sold a set of Toyota Tacoma headlights, picked up at a yard sale for $20 for the pair. I got $180 for a headlight shipped.
You just go to the parking decks up and just go to the parking decks in uptown Charlotte, and you can pull parts all you want all day long.
You don't really even have to get dirty. You don't have to pull engine parts. You can pull interior parts.
Yeah. Mirrors, console parts, knobs, and stereos. Stereos are easy. Folks, no matter what you think, stereos are easy to get the hell out of a car.
I think somebody could make a good living picking up hubcaps off the side of the road around Charlotte. Where they'll hit the dadgum curb and pop the hubcaps off.
So, hey, Phil, it's good to see you, buddy. Phil said Groove Master Resellers, $400 selling machines before COVID are now, the bottoms dropped out of them.
Yeah. But the parts, because people already have these machines now.
Flipcon.
And we made some money. We made some money on sewing machines during COVID. That whole 127. That's all we bought. I think 20 sewing machines on that.
And surgeries.
We were paying up to $20 a sale and surgeries. Yeah.
Yeah.
$20 per, up to $20, $25 per machine, depending on the machine, is what we were paying. And now, if we had found real super high end machines, we'd have paid more. But man, were we making some money.
And on Victoria's show, where is it? I just saw it. Maybe I didn't. Somebody said I needed a wig. Yeah.
Don't get him started.
John Jones says, remember bread makers. Yeah, they were selling really, but the parts are still selling. My wife sells a lot of bread maker parts.
And, with the economic situation we got on right now, it might come back where people are just getting, if they can find the flour, to make their own bread.
So Jacob made a loaf of bread yesterday. He actually made my. I bitched at him last week. I'm like, you keep making all this bread for you and your mama. You should learn to make keto bread. So he did.
How was it?
Stupid good. That kid, he just needs to go to culinary school and forget being a rocket scientist, because that's what he likes to do. Keep telling him, do what makes you happy. I don't care what it is. Go be happy.
All right, I got to get out of here. The boss has got a phone call, and she's going to be talking. So
we didn't want to talk later. We didn't want to talk to you anyway.
Yeah.
They took a vote and they said, "Can y'all get rid of Tom?" Oh my God, I'll work.
All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.
Later. Hey, Tom only got one room in the house.
And they share a car.
Oh, they're still on a landline. That's right.
I think they share a brain. That's terrible, isn't it?
So I could tell you a secret of how my wife did a lot of what she's doing when she's selling on eBay is she'd take a category. Let's say she wanted to sell parts for something, and she would put in bread maker parts in eBay search and go to solds, search highest to lowest, and that's how she found all that stuff. It's not that hard. And it doesn't have to be parts. It can be any category. Do what, whatever category you pick. Be a little more specific. She might choose one brand and narrow it even farther.
So for the person who want to see me in a wig, there you go. That's my favorite one I ever had.
That's damn near Sasquatch right there.
Wild man of Borneo at the carnival.
Oh, I missed that beard. Didn't I? Got to go back to that beard. That's all there is to it. What's your best advice for a seasoned eBay reseller to boost sales and why?
Sell Nike. Da-da-da.
You got to, Robert. You got to take advantage of what's in your area. You know that's the biggest. Figure out what's available to you and figure out how to make money. That's the whole key. Is what do you do you have a lot of storage lockers around you? Right, you're near Indianapolis. You know, is that a market that you can get into and buy and get inventory very cheaply? You know, what do you want to sell higher end items? You know, are they available in your area? Is there bulk in your area? You know, you got to figure out what's available to you. And what the other thing too is the one thing I can tell you in doing this business for this long is the more you like a product, the more you will list it. You know,
I have a complaint.
If you know there's something that makes money, you will be very, very much harder for you to list. Okay, it goes the other way too. I love cameras so much. Yeah, I just keep them around like a collector. But you know, I will list electronics way before I'll list anything else. I've got a bunch of really nice shoes and stuff over there. I keep pushing off to the side. There's money in them, but they're not. I don't know.
So I just got an email from Amazon Seller Central for a high pricing alert. This thing has been listed for a year at $19.99.
Maybe that's why.
And well, no, it's a collectible VHS tape. It's not anything it's not current. It's from 1999, I think. Johnny Mnemonic is the VHS, and it's a special issue. $20 for that VHS. There's the email right there. Oops, cancel. Like, that thing's been around for a long time. Why are they just now giving me a price alert on it? I'm just going to put it on eBay instead. Screw them. Screw Amazon.
And they're saying you cut expenses. I mean, the one thing I can tell you too to increase sales, you know, are you willing? Understand what your costs are and what you want to take for an item. I've got my whole store on 20% off. I didn't go and raise the store 20% to lower it 20%. I was like, you know what? Everything I got from a yard sale for the most part. Just cut the whole damn store 20%. The hell with it.
Some moron listed it for $5.37 on Amazon.
Free shipping.
Let me see. I bet you.
You know, it's how to increase sales. Are you following their systems? You know, are you using promoted listings? Are you there's a jury out on whether promoted listings work or not. I can tell you when I don't use promoted listings, I don't sell shit. You know, do you have multiple items? Are you using the things that the platform's available? You know, do you give them a discount for buying 2, for buying 3, for buying 4? Right now, the big girl panties, I think they're on sale for 20% off. And if you buy 4 or more, you get another 15% off. So somebody out there that wants like 10 pairs of big girl panties at a good price, go for it. I don't care. Buy 10.
By the way, that was a merchant fulfilled listing. All my listings now are merchant fulfilled. I just ended up, I'll put that on eBay instead. It'll sell up there.
So roaming Rover, you used to be able to find this. There used to be a website you could go to and put in the number, and it would tell you what the accepted price was from an offer. That you can't find that out anymore. So
nah, eBay closed it. I don't know why, because it makes more sense for them to. Well, maybe it makes eBay look better if the price is higher. I don't know.
Although yesterday I did have a dude who kept fucking with me. I had a $15 item that was reduced to $12 and some change, plus like $3 shipping. He wanted to give me $9 for it. I'm like, you know, I'll take $11.75. That was like another $1 off. So this thing would have been like 35 or 40% off. He come back at 10. He come back at. I said, okay, I'll do $11.75. He come back at 10 and a quarter, $10.75. And when he finally reached $11, he had his 5 offers, and I don't have to deal with him anymore. I think over $1, I told him he can go pound sand. Now his only choice is if he wants to buy my phone is he has to pay full price.
You always get those people who just are not intelligent. I guess
It was a battle of wits, and I think we were both nitwits. But it was at one point he was like a quarter from my last offer. I'm like, you're. I mean, I kind of get pissed off. I'm like, you're just now messing with me, thinking that you've got to have the last word, and I have the ultimate power to say no, so I have the last word.
And that guy in the end is probably the guy that's going to return it to you too, because something.
It's a brand new. It's a brand new cordless phone. I mean, I can't send it. It has to go. It's going to go priority. It's going to cost me $7-8 to ship. You know, I'm making what, $1 or $2 max here. Come on, dude. You're trying to take my last quarter. I'll plug it in and use it. That'll be awesome.
I sometimes don't understand the mentality. I understand the mentality of giving a lowball offer, but I don't understand, not his particularly, but the mentality of offering. I've had things listed for $100 and people literally offer me $5 on eBay. What? Well, now I know I can set minimum offers and stuff like that, but I don't, because if they're just a little bit off, like my minimum offer is 20 and they offer me 19, I want to see that, so I don't put a minimum offer on. But what is the mentality of offering that much less? I had a bandana, a very rare bandana, Harley Davidson 3D. If you don't know about the 3D whatever band shirts, those are, you can get $200-300 for those. But the bandana was the same company that made it, and I ended up getting $60 for it. But I had guys offer me $5 for that bandana when they know very well what it's worth. You know.
So CJ's got a great question. Wants to know how much to pay for Amazon Business Insurance. I pay $91 a month. I know a lot of people pay in the $40, $50, $60 range. You got to remember, they want to know what you sell, and so every underwriter is going to come up with a smaller different price. I'm also an S corp, so that pushes my insurance a little higher. I think 60, 65 is probably the average, just depending on what you sell. But I'm a little bit more expensive due to being an S corp.
Because I'm not selling hardly anything on Amazon anymore. I've canceled mine, but I was paying less than Scott through what's her name? Ashlyn Hayden. Yeah, and my eBay isn't doing it as well as, you know. I'm not concentrating on reselling right now as much.
So Robert, what is
cancel the insurance?
What does your competition do, Robert? You know, Robert wants to know, do you think a higher promotion rate would be better than taking offers? If me and you have the same items, Robert, I'm matching the promotions, and I've got offers, and right now I've got the store on sale. So good luck trying to beat my prices or if we're battling for the same item. So you look at what your competition is doing.
If you were only allowed to do one, I would do promoted over offers any day.
I do them all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you for some silly reason had to pick one, I sell way more on promoted listings than I do on offers, but I do them both.
Do we really have to have insurance on Amazon? You have to. They check it every year now.
There's a threshold.
I have to send them a copy of my new one that I just got redone.
I think there's a certain threshold, or unless they ask you for it. I am not
an accountant. I don't play one on TV or internet, but you can pay yourself $70K. The rule for most as for corporation, the rule is, and it's going to vary state to state because S corp and those rules are state to state. But most states say that you must pay yourself a salary that is commensurate with the sales. So, you know, I couldn't sell $200,000 worth of stuff and have a net profit of $100,000 and pay myself, you know, $5,000 a year. That, you know, trying to get around taxes, that doesn't work. You know, so your salary has got to be commensurate with the income and sales.
I want to say my policy was around $300 a year, so maybe it was more. It was at least $300, but it wasn't too much more than that.
I wouldn't do this without insurance.
Might have been $500.
So I know a seller who sold a product. The product was delivered and the person used the product off label, and the first message back to after they lied to Amazon a couple times, the next thing they want to know is this product messed up what I used it on. I want compensation from the seller. Yeah, they want compensation from the seller because they use the product off label, not by the directions, but somehow it's the seller's fault. You better have
the biggest issue is you can't cover the warranty. You said it a week or so ago. You're not going to be able to honor the warranty, so they have to have compensation somehow. And if you're big into Amazon selling, you damn well better be covered. I was. Now that I don't sell on there, I'm not. But
the 30% tax is a killer.
Thank God, never had to use it. I don't think you have either, but thank God. It's peace of mind.
Hey Beth, have a great day.
And it's cheap. I mean, Scott says he's paying $300 a year. I don't think mine was much more than that.
That's $90 a month, so it's a little over $1,000 a year for peace of mind. I'm all right with that. I can sleep at night. That's nice.
Pay it off yearly, and so that you don't have to worry about it all year. So you're not paying monthly. That's how we did it.
Well, I wasn't going to call you out, Jennifer. But
I still have my LLC.
Jennifer's the one dealing with it. This lady had put this stuff on carpet, whatever it was, and is there anybody who doesn't know if you buy a new carpet cleaner, the first thing it tells you on the instructions are use this in an inconspicuous place like a closet to make sure it doesn't damage your carpet. That's the first thing it tells you in the directions on every single bottle. Yeah, it's people like to talk about how easy reselling is and just sell it on eBay or just sell it wherever. But there's lots of things you got to know to protect yourself because, the U.S. is a litigious society. Look at it. If I were to go out there and I'm never going to do this. Y'all know how I feel. And do something stupid and point a gun at a cop or whatever, my family is not going to sue the cops for killing me. But that happens every day. How many of these thug awards have we given out? We teach people every day. It started with grandma when she was too stupid not to put the hot coffee between her legs. And when it burned her legs, she goes, well, damn, that was hot. It burned my legs. Well, no shit, woman. You just put a hot cup of coffee between your legs and squeezed. The woman who just sued McDonald's because the chicken nugget burned her kid's mouth. How is that McDonald's fault? They have to cook it to 165 degrees to kill any disease, any bacteria, anything in the chicken to make it safe for your child to eat. Your job as a parent is not to throw the fucking hot nugget at them. So understand I wouldn't do this without insurance because those people are out there and they're everywhere. Oh, a leg and whatever it was. Yeah. Between the leg and the car seat.
So on Amazon, they're seeing, okay, I'm going to go after this seller because they think we're all big time sellers. They don't know that it's, and then some of these people, and I'm sure in this case, they don't care. They're just going after somebody to get compensated for something that may or may not even, be your fault. And it's definitely not.
If you see Josh Gall, he says that people always say I won't be found guilty or I won't be held liable. Yeah, that the cost will kill you. Okay, let's think about how we have been shown in lately how our political system has corrupted the courts. You don't believe me? Go look in Miami, Florida. Miami, Florida they have charged President Trump with documents cases in Miami, Florida, and everybody goes, well, the Miami grand jury, decided that he should stand trial for this, so they charged him. Anybody here in the last couple of days that the DOJ took people from Washington, D.C., the bunch of liberal fruitcakes, put them on a goddamn plane, flew them to Miami because they knew a Miami jury would never would never put Trump up for trial. And this was a Washington, D.C. jury flown in against the law to bring charges against President Trump. And you think they give two fucks about you as an eBay seller? Come on.
I'll tell you, I had a friend, and this is not reselling, but it's similar. He did a YouTube video and used a picture. It was a picture of a Bigfoot. This is years ago. And a lady claimed copyright against him on that picture and took it to court. It wasn't even her photo. It wasn't her photo. It cost him thousands to defend himself.
Yep.
And at the end, the judge threw it out of the court. It didn't even do anything for either one of them. He wasn't allowed to talk about it.
The cost to defend himself is just ridiculous.
Yeah. And she had a friend who was a lawyer, so it didn't cost her nearly as much. But he had to hire an attorney and everything just to defend himself against something that she didn't even own. She didn't take that picture. She had rights to use the picture. Well, I don't even know if she had rights to use the picture. It was a long, drawn-out process that this shouldn't have never happened, you know?
So, Mr. Sadie, that's 101. It's you got to keep it separate. You know, you lose. Well, I'm an LLC, Beard. You know, they can only come after the business. But if you commingle your funds and don't have a separate checking account, and a court looks at it and goes, "You're just an LLC in name only. You're not acting separate. There's no. You have pierced the wall of protection or whatever they call it, and they will come and take your house without insurance and without protection and without being set up correctly. They can come take your house and everything you own for this."
I've made sure at least a little bit of a way to protect myself. Once I got that, remember that lawsuit I got? Ugh, scared the hell out of me. Well, they sent it in my name, not my LLC's name. So they're suing me personally. So what I did, because now what I do is my eBay name is my LLC. My Amazon name is my LLC. I changed everything just to maybe protect, because now when they see it, they'll sue the LLC instead of me.
Yeah, everything's in my EIN number, which runs with the business. So.
Yeah, got to make sure that you're take. So my actual eBay name is Slick Toys LLC. It shows up that way, and I want it to show up that way everywhere. Everything's done through the business, reselling wise. I probably should do that on Etsy too. I haven't done that on Etsy.
But it's, you know, there's so much to this. That's why we tell you, don't trust us. Go talk to an accountant. Pay the hour of the guy's time. You know, you want to get the right insurance and get it set up correctly. Call Ashlyn Haddon, and you can easily find her number. Links is everywhere. You know, she has made herself available and sells a lot of reseller insurance because that was a market that was becoming available and it was hard to find. You know, talk to someone who knows.
The lawsuit was Melissa Hovey versus Phil Poling. HOVEY POLING. You should be able to find the record somewhere. Here's the funny part: the picture, 99% sure, is actually a still from a movie. So she had no rights to use it. Even if somebody granted her rights, she still didn't have rights because it wasn't. Yeah, but people are frivolous. They'll sue you over anything.
Yeah, everything I know.
My part is I know both of these people.
Everything I know I get from Lag. Lag tells me what to do and what not to do. So you can trust Lag.
He did a critical video on something that she posted, and that's the lawsuit in my name. That was, what was the name of that company? Do you remember, Scott? It was some sort of CPAP.
Oh, it was So Clean. So Clean.
So Clean. So Clean. Yeah, I was named in a lawsuit because I sold one. Yeah, on eBay. Yeah, and So Clean will sue you. But if you've only ever sold one, that's pretty. I just contacted the attorney, and he took my name off the lawsuit, as well as anybody that contacted them that had only sold 110 of them. So, but I will never sell another So Clean product as long as I live.
And I learned from Steve, and I sold all mine at auction, and then I did okay at auction.
Get rid of them. Yeah, because they will sue you, especially if you have more than 10. And I forget how much it was, $100,000 or some some number that I'd never be able to, pay. But I did have insurance at that time, but I don't think insurance would cover that. So I don't know. But So Clean, SOCLEAN.
Yeah, I looked for it last night. I couldn't find it. Damn it. I know I'm subbed to you guys.
This wasn't a letter. This was an actual lawsuit. I got it via certified mail. Yeah, and it was scary.
Yeah, So Clean is one of
Don't
those brands.
sell any So Clean. Get rid of it. Destroy it. Burn it. Give it away.
Unless you can sell it local. I sold mine at auction, so there's not a lot of trace to it.
Even if you're selling it on Facebook, Facebook was named in that lawsuit too.
No,
Sellers
I'm
on
talking about
Amazon.
local auction.
Yeah, local auction is different. But if any online platform, they're looking. They are very litigious. And they've sued. They've had big lawsuits twice now. I was named in the second one. Just don't sell anymore.
There's so much to learn, and that's the one thing I challenge you, especially if you're new or even if you've been experienced resellers, you've got to protect yourself, you've got to protect your business, you've got to do things. That's why I like black and white. I like right or wrong. I like knowing what is right because I want to follow as many rules as possible because you can't follow them all. And if you follow 99% of the rules and break the one, you're more apt to get grace extended to you than if they look at you and go, damn, you're just an outlaw. You don't do anything right. You've just been skating by. You follow 10% of the rules and they hit you with a hammer. Is Todd still breathing? Todd, are you still alive?
I'm up there. Yep.
So what I did with that So Clean lawsuit was, what happened? Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be back.
Yes. So Steve uses his camera through his MacBook, his phone through his MacBook as his camera. He wants to be all pretty for y'all. So, yeah. I'm just using the potato camera that came in this one. So what else can we rail on today? Today's show's flown by. We only got like 15 minutes left. Then I got to go ship again. What am I shipping today? Let's see if there's anything interesting to ship today.
What the heck? I can't.
I have a pair of shoes, an Atari game, a Hot Wheels Mario character, a Wolfgang Puck food processor. That's a good one. And then the Orbit battery operated sprinklers.
Look at all the dust in my camera.
I shipped. Come here, Franklin. Everybody wants to see you, buddy.
Franklin.
Y'all want to hear the Franklin story? Oh my God. Come here, Franklin. Why are you? Come here, turd. Okay, so here comes the Franklin story. So Two Hippie Chickens, was it your show you were talking about dachshunds? So this is Franklin. Franklin is the handsome one. And you know how handsome you are, buddy? He is double dapple piebald. That's his colors. You can see his feet are different than the rest of him. I'm the 9-pounder. This is the one. So Joni has decided that his private parts, you can't see him because they're covered up in fur, are large for a 9-pound dog, and she wants him to make babies with another dachshund so she can get a puppy. And so she has deemed it the Baby Maker 3000. Franklin, show him the Baby Maker 3000. Baby Maker 3000. Say, I'm a hand. Somebody who needs to be on camera, yeah, it's Franklin. Isn't that right, buddy? Where's your little girlfriend, Phoebe? Where'd your girlfriend, Phoebe, go? Phoebe left you in here. Yeah, so he's the only one of our dogs that's not fixed. Because I'm going to use the Baby Mecha 3000. And Johnny put it on Facebook and put a heart over the Baby Maker 3000. That's what I have to deal with. Is it wondered I'm saying because Johnny talks about the dog's private parts. Yeah. Franklin is a handsome little dog. Say I'm a good looking dog. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
Roman.
Okay. Go find your girlfriend. So I had the same space, Timothy. So the money, I won't make as much money in the wintertime because generally sourcing from estate sales and thrift stores is more expensive than yard sales. And I like to sell yard sale stuff through there because I like to have the lowest cost possible going through there. So a little bit of the items changes, and also generally is maybe a touch better of an item a lot of times. And so the sales will stay about the same. It'll be less items, but I'll make more per item. It's just a touch different, but I'm looking forward to really making some decisions about inventory behind me, and then the 2 storage buildings. Push bigger groups and lots through this winter. I'm going to get rid of quite a bit of stuff this winter going through the auction. And this, Todd knows that he is Larry, but doesn't tell anybody about it. What?
Oh, John, flipping ain't easy. He got confused on my name and started calling me Larry. And so everybody did. So it was Larry. Every time I chat on John's show, it's like, hey, it's Larry Todd. And then guys like Roman have to just run it more.
Yeah, Roman is the best anytime picker. If you don't follow Roman on Instagram, he finds the best memes ever. Without a doubt. Auction fees are 30%. They get 30% from the seller and 15% from the buyer. I'm telling you right now, these if you had the space to run a consignment auction and could get some traffic through, they started off on high bid and now they use Bid Wrangler. The key is they've been doing it 12, 15 years. They're an auction house. They get a lot of traffic, but 45% on money on every dollar. They make good money if you can get the traffic through there.
Roman did a 3.5 hour show on his top 60 resellers pick. I don't think I made the pick. Did I make the pick, Roman? I don't think so.
Did he do it on his channel?
Yeah. He did like a 3.5 hour live where he selected the top 60 YouTube resellers. I haven't watched the whole thing. I just every once in a while I'll turn on some of it.
I'm gonna start it here, so I'll end up watching it. Did somebody go in there and on the comments and just make a list so we can all see it?
The last reseller in history.
So Commonwealth replied. He said he beat out Shad Juice. So anybody else got any fun questions we can hit before we end? We got 12 minutes. I'm learning the more I spend time out in this building, I've got to get organized. And so that's one of my weaknesses. I can tell you that it's much harder to continue to push and push and push and do things and try to accomplish things in an unorganized space. And so I've got to really put that at the top of my priority list over the next few days of just really Harbor's Hope. His Anytime Picker is the channel.
So I had a buyer I gave a partial refund to. They gave me a negative feedback, and they're returning it anyway.
there's the link to the video. So if you're not subscribed to Roman, check Roman out. Can't wait to watch some of it because I'm sure he's funny all the way through it.
He didn't care if you enjoy it or not. He enjoys it. He just laughs all the way through it. That Commonwealth picker guy. Ho 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 ho. He sounded like a whole lot like an East European Santa Claus.
You should hopefully you had like an OG section because when I started on YouTube and reselling, ain't many of us left on here. You know, Craigslist Hunter was he had a channel when I started. I started this channel in 14 or 15. Who else is left from around that time?
I'm coming up on 10 years of YouTube, but
somebody asked me about Steve Rake, and I'm like, maybe it was in Josh's channel the other day. I'm like, I'd been doing videos for over a year before he started. I remember when he started. What's his name? Resell Rabbit. He's changed, but he still had a channel back then.
Yep.
There ain't a ton of them.
Auction been around a while.
Lonnie and Tanya, I was around before both of them started.
I know for sure, Lonnie, you were around first.
Lonnie had other channels though. Don't y'all forget, Lonnie is very good at YouTube. Lonnie has had quite a few. Mike Global Voodoo. I saw a video from him the other day.
He's not doing much reselling videos though anymore.
No, he's not. But there was a murder in the little town he lives in. He was talking about
Global Voodoo.
I think Mike was around. He's one of the OGs for resellers, for sure.
I haven't seen a Mike video in a long time.
He just put one out. It was not about reselling. It was about a murder. But he just put one out, what, a week ago or less?
Yeah, a week ago.
See, 500 subs in 13 years.
You guys don't know what they're missing there, Sadie. They're missing videos about your boat and several other things.
My very first YouTuber, I've said it before, but Gil Daddy, or the Gil family, those are the first ones I watched. And the Gilmans, they stopped doing reselling videos quite a long time ago.
Yeah,
right when I found them.
Chad makes videos lately about cleaning watches. He's really good at it.
Bonafide Hustler's been on a long time.
He took a big break though. He didn't make videos for a couple of years.
Steve and Steph started after I did.
Yeah, they started out. Bonafide Hustler. He was one of the first ones I started watching. I like Chris. Really good dude. But he also took a couple years to focus on his By Damn channel. Yeah. He works out a ton, man. He's a physical specimen. Just you look at him and go, I wonder how much work it'd take to be in that kind of shape. Oh, I can't do that.
A lot of the ones that I watched.
It was Crazy Picker Life, Two Hip Chicks. We talked about them a little earlier.
Bin pickers aren't doing videos anymore? Huh. They had some interesting videos. Well, I stand by that statement if I made it, Roman, that I'm the best picker in Ohio. Yes. It's not true. It's not true even a little bit.
Yeah, if I were going to buy them, Tracy's box might be a touch. If you buy any of the dual players, the singles fit in the 18s. The dual players take a 20. They're just a touch wider.
Roman, shut up. Roman has a love affair with my desk. I don't know why.
Yeah, people don't have anything better to do. I mean, if you don't like somebody or don't like what they do, move the fuck on. Is that too damn hard? You know, just to constantly harass somebody because you don't agree with them, move on. You're not being an internet troll and yelling and screaming across a computer screen or in chats. You're not going to change anybody's mind.
I found that out a long time ago. Doesn't
Salt.
matter what your view is. If somebody has the opposite view, that person is not changing their mind because you
I mean,
said
I do
so.
want to hear other people's views because it makes mine stronger because I want to be able to defend what I believe. Um,
Healthy debate is
Salt.
okay.
yeah, you definitely got to have debate because if you don't, you know, if you don't challenge your beliefs too, you know, let's go outside and see if we really do hear some tree knots. Let's go.
This? That ain't salt. That's my cup that's got all the.
What was I watching the other day? The Bigfoot
Nah.
show ended, and it went to one of these other ones, and I'm like, draw the line at Bigfoot. You know, the bug man of wherever or whatever. I'm like,
I have a
yeah,
similar cup. Todd.
Yeah, pens, pencils, needle nose pliers, couple screwdrivers.
So it'd be interesting. I'd be interested to see
Magnet.
Roman's list and find out how many people I actually know who they are.
I should be number one on that list.
He
Oh,
picked
I
out
don't do
Tracy
videos
Parks, and Tracy went on there and said, "I haven't sold anything in 6 months. Why are you putting me up there?"
Yeah, midlife picker. Mention Pete Craigslist Hunter. Yeah, Pete's been doing it a long time, but he took almost a little break there too. Hell, I took some time off from this show. It wears on you.
Sometimes you have. Sometimes you have to. You know.
I have.
I've actually considered taking a break so that I can work on Wednesdays, but fuck. No.
You got to work after the show.
Then I gotta get home and that late, and no, I'm not doing it.
You came back, buddy.
I think it's important to take some time off from things. I can't work 7 days a week. Marcia is right now, and it's wearing on her. I don't know. I keep trying to get her to take days off. She won't do it. But
Hey, buddy.
you know, you got to take some time off, even if it's 1 day a week or one. Would we take off a couple of months when we took off the show?
That was you really
And
want?
it was very. I missed it, but it was refreshing.
Yeah,
you know.
I just talked to y'all while I hang out with Steve. That's all.
It's really all it is. And sometimes things run its course too. I did my other podcast for 8 years. It ran its course. I'm done. I miss it sometimes, but it's not something that I miss well enough to go back and do it again. Not full time anyway. Once in a while I go on. Ken Green, why aren't you listening to the show instead of messaging me on the side here?
Who was that?
Ken Green messaging me.
Speaking
He's
of
probably
someone who,
he's doing some Walmart Spark like I'm doing the Walmart.
I think I actually changed his mind. He was a Democrat from hell when I started with him.
I think
I remember. Yeah.
Flag's got a security cam in my eBay bat cave here. How'd you know I had salt?
Maybe he's not what he says he is. Maybe he's really a secret agent of
Does he
some
work
sort.
for the government? Alpensalts. We went to all the way to Germany to get this. Came from Salzburg,
I better
Germany.
answer.
Why do they call it Salzburg? Because they mine salt there. Da-da-da.
We have a salt mine not that far from here under Lake Erie.
Salzburg is right by the eagle's nest. Hitler's eagle's nest.
All right, so what's everybody gonna do today? Go watch Roman's video to find out where your favorite YouTube resellers landed on his list.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's the definitive list I hear, if I'm on it anyway.
bring
Yeah,
a
his definitive list.
If I'm not on it, it's not definitive at all.
Josh will have a show at noon today, noon my time, whatever time it is your time, noon central. If you want to hear some more, just organized talk about reselling, he's a better speaker than I am, so he does a better job of staying on track with. I'll just go off. I'll take a left turn.
Actually,
twice about it.
If I am on Roman's list, that list ain't no good at all. Don't listen to it. It's not a good list.
Oh, and Tamara, Yellow Brick Reselling video today too. There's lots of good resellers out there. I know we'll have a show Thursday night. Who is Josh? Josh Galt?
Somebody put a link to Josh's channel. I don't think I'm subscribed.
Josh, are you still in here? I'll find it.
All right. Yeah, everybody, I just want to warn you though, you want to bring a cot and a pillow to watch Roman's videos. You can get in two or three naps while watching it. It's long.
I used to. No, I love Dusty. I loved me some Dusty, but I fell asleep through a lot of his videos.
I rarely watched any of them now. I regret it. I'd like to have seen them. Because you know, when you talk to somebody, you know, you feel like you know them. But yeah. So Timothy, last week I asked people like 8 or 9 times to hit the thumbs up button, and everybody said they hit the middle finger instead because I got the same amount as when I didn't ask. So the hell with the thumbs up button.
All right, I subscribe to Josh. Don't let me down, man.
Now we'll give him a standby. He's bearded picker approved. Even though one of the people in his chat has me blocked. he'll read a comment and I go, yeah, I don't see that one. He's got me blocked. That's awesome right there. When your feelings get hurt that you have to block other resellers, that's awesome. Never hardly mentioned this person, but sure has had a lot of shit to say about me, but he's the one doing the blocking. That's awesome, man. But when you're the man that you shit talk somebody and you have to block them because your little feelings get hurt, that's awesome right there. I know I've said something and done something right.
Josh is an old school
good old Tommy.
Gold and silver guy too.
I didn't mention their names, but there you go.
Somebody mentioned a name. I don't know the guy, but I've seen a few of his videos. Not my cup of tea. But
yeah, same here.
I know some things, but
I think it was my association with Shane. He didn't like Shane at all.
With maybe good reason at the time. Who knows?
I don't have any comments.
Comment free zone.
I didn't block you, Roman. You're welcome to insult me anytime, Roman. Go ahead. Give me your best shot.
And the sad thing is, they act like we don't have most people. I've got 3 or 4 YouTube channels. If I'm gonna see you got to say, I just log out and go to the other one. It don't make I mean, you can't block every screen name.
I used to have a screen name just for that purpose, just so
it's like
I'll yell it, but I'm not gonna.
It's like the one that I really don't like over on Instagram. She's got me blocked over there. Fucking Jen has got me blocked over there. I've got 3 or 4 Instagrams. I mean, it ain't like if I want to see what your retarded self has to say, I just log into my name. Oh, I know.
Roman, I haven't been to any of the rallies, and I'm not going to any this summer either.
I'm not going to any rallies, not anytime soon.
I was spending all my money going to
Somebody needs to do one
Alaska.
in Columbus. Somebody
Hey,
needs to do a rally in Columbus, Ohio. So many
Hey,
thrift stores there.
So me, Jennifer, and Harlan are going. I think all of us will be at the reseller rally in Cincinnati. You should come visit. It's only. I mean, we're planning on staying. I think Johnny wants to stay the weekend, so that thing's
I'd
only
go,
Friday
but
night.
that drive is.
I know. I've already told her she's got to go to yard sale Saturday. She's so excited.
But the rally's only one night.
Yeah, it's just Friday night from 6 to 12.
That's it. No, seriously, somebody should do one in Columbus. If you want to focus on thrift stores, you can't do them all in a day.
And Columbus is it's a good thrifting town for sure.
I love going there. We haven't been able to go back in a while, but we will once we get back into reselling full time. We'll make trips to Columbus because it's something else down there. Dayton's another good place.
Why didn't somebody tell me it was 10 after time to go? No wonder I got to use the bathroom so bad.
It's 10 after time to go.
I'm out of here.
Old guys who take blood pressure medicine and drink 2 cups of coffee and a Coke Zero cannot make it past 10 o'clock. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope we gave you some perspective on your business. Hopefully, really take it serious. Some good questions from the chat. What do you do to increase it the same thing a seasoned reseller does as a new reseller? You got to use the same principles. It's awesome. Sit down, take an honest look at your business, and make a plan to move forward. That's a lot of it. Write down your goals, write down your plan, get moving. Everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Sure.
Roll Tide.
Sweetwater out.
I'm waiting on a hand to say something. There we go.